Wow. Saturday night. What's up, Sooner Nation? Billy Shield says bye-bye, Porter. It's a joke. Sad, sad, sad. Uh, Formerly known says fire Porter now. Don't wait. Listen, this was a loss of epic proportions for OU basketball this year because this was the one, you could say, maybe winnable game on their schedule that was remaining. A team that was 1-10 in the conference. And I understand the SEC is an elite conference. Don't get me wrong. I understand it. The way that this team continues to lose games, it falls on the head coach, okay? We talked about it last week with the debacle of how many losses in a row this team has had, of monumental losses, like just run out of the gym. Yeah, FanStop says the nail in the coffin. And I know we don't usually do a lot of post-game basketball live shows, but I had to get on here to vent. Just had to. I had to get on here to vent. I also wanted to be a place where you, the fans, can vent because this is an embarrassment. What happened today, first off, you can't explain it except for bad basketball. And Randy, 3 games ago, I sat here on a post-game live and said, I think you got to make the change and get Ryan Humphrey or someone in there and might give some new life into this team. They didn't do it. And now the sad thing is that they've waited too long. They've got 5 ranked opponents coming up. If they were going to do it, they should have done it and had some momentum with the new guy, and they waited. And we've got to break this game down because I thought it was just pathetic. And there were some things that I liked. I liked the lineup that Porter Moser went with to close the last 6 minutes. He had Dayton Forsythe then, who I've been wanting all year more. He made some big plays. Fears was better in the second half. Down the stretch, he wasn't as good. But what they did the last couple, first off, you're up 5, 79-74. You cannot get near the shooter. I get that call was probably a bad call. And if you go back and watch that play, guys, LSU's guy definitely kicked his legs out. But it's too risky. Just stand there. Don't jump. They get the 4-point play. And then what really baffled me on the inbounds play, OU has a timeout. Dayton Forsythe goes to inbounds the ball. OU has a timeout. They could have got their mind right and said, look, let's make sure we get the ball into Jeremiah Fears. No. Fears walks away from the inbound pass, has his back there. There's no urgency from anyone. No urgency. They get the ball into Jalen Moore, which was good. They got the ball in. There was 19 seconds. He could have just held the ball. OU had the possession area. He could have went into fetal position and just held it. That would have gotten him down to 14 seconds. And then inbounds the ball. You have a timeout. You make free throws. You win the game. Instead, he makes an unbelievable cross-court pass that gets stolen. Not only does it get stolen, it's poor defense after it's stolen, and they get an and one. And then, timeout. I love getting Jeremiah Fears going downhill. He's got to see Goodine in the corner. Goodine is wide open in the corner for 3 for the win. Am I the only one that saw that? I know he was trying to draw a foul, and he went in amongst traffic, and I like the aggressiveness. He's got to see the corner. He's got to see the corner guy. Got to. Jason says, I never thought I would be alive to see OU football and basketball be a laughingstock. SEC bottom feeders. Who would you rather fire, Joe John Finley or Porter? Porter Moser right now. He's the head coach of the program. And they're bad. Jalen Moore was bad tonight. For a guy who's been there, he was bad tonight. That part maybe doesn't fall on Porter Moser, but I agreed, Braden. Dayton Forsythe, to me, has to play more. He made a hustle play. He made a turnaround jumper with not much time. I thought he was pretty good. And Jeremiah Fears was better in the second half than he was the first half. But it's pathetic. I don't know what else. I really don't know what else to say. And if Hunter gets on here, I'm going to have him open the phone lines. I can't right now. I'm by myself. But, yeah, a lot of people saying the Red Moser. And Frank, I don't think if they won the Moser experiment, the Moser era, the Moser journey, whatever you want to call it, is done. Has to be done. Has to be done. And Hunter, I see you popped on here. If you want to just put the StreamYard link in for me, I'm going to take callers. I think we can do it by myself, right? I think there's a way that, correct me if I'm wrong, but dropping the link, appreciate it, Hunter. It's pathetic, abysmal. You name the adjective, you're probably going to be selling it short still, because a game that OU had to win, they somehow find a way to give it away. And I could talk about, I already mentioned 3 or 4 plays. There are more than that. Jalen Moore is pathetic down the stretch. Just absolutely pathetic for a guy who's been there. You have to call a timeout if you don't know what you're doing. You just have to call a timeout. In the prior timeout, every coach on OU, and they might have done this. Every coach should have said, hey guys, if you get the ball and you're getting trapped, just go to the fetal position. Hunker down, go to the fetal position, hold the ball because you have the possession. 20 seconds when Jalen Moore had that ball. You cannot make a cross-court pass. Johnny, that's a horrible take in my opinion. They absolutely couldn't. But wait, someone said he's fired. I think you mean fire Moser. He's not fired. He should be. It's Moore's and Fierce fumbled that game. Yeah, both were bad. Both were bad. And I'm going to keep saying it. Jeremiah Fears might be a lottery pick. He's still projected to go top 10. He's not playing like one. He's not playing very good. He was better in the second half than he was the first. He was. Hit a couple shots. Did some nice things on the defensive side that I liked. Wasn't very good down the stretch. You've got to see Bryson Goodine in the corner wide open for the win. You've got to see that. And he's a guy that should be getting 5 assists a game. OU's not a good passing team. It's bad. They're so bad fundamentally passing. They're so bad fundamentally setting screens. They're so bad fundamentally blocking out. I want to pull my hair out every single night. And today, I'm watching the game. They get up 11 early in the second half. You think, man, this is absolutely a win they're going to get. And then at the end, they even make big plays down the stretch. Miles and Forsythe both had massive hustle plays where they're beating someone to the ball, getting a loose ball, and getting a shot made. And we still lose the game. Zayas, you're right. Goodine was waving his arms wide open for the win. They're down 2 if 3 wins it. Waving his arms, never gets the ball. It was bad. Jackson, I think we have Jackson on the line. What's up?
So I cannot just fathom, Jeremy, what just happened in that game. It's the epitome of what Oklahoma season has been. There's been times where they've looked like a good team and they've been in games with some really great teams and they've even had some solid wins. And there's been other times where it's just looked so bad, and that's what you saw at the very end of the game. And like there was a point in the game, in my opinion, this is where Oklahoma lost the game. Jeremiah Fears had a 4-on-2 in transition. OU had the numbers, had the advantage for an easy layup. I think it was to go up by like 5, and instead he
He could have
stopped
given
it.
it to
And
Jalen Moore, but he gave it to Godwin.
What?
You're talking about the one where he should have passed it to Moore, but he gave it to Sam Godwin?
No, this was towards the end of the game.
Okay.
And Oklahoma, they turn over the ball, and LSU, they get that and 1-3. And right when they got the and 1-3, I knew Oklahoma was going to lose the game. There's no way this team. I mean, what has been done? I don't understand how it could even get this bad, because it was never even this bad in the Big 12. Like, they were playing a lot of close games. They were losing a lot of close games in the Big 12. Outside of LSU, they've been getting killed, and it's not the fact that they're losing; it's how they're losing. That's what's
It's
frustrating.
how they're taking on the persona of their head coach, Jackson. Facts. That's
Yeah,
what they're doing.
yeah,
He
yeah. That's
stresses.
facts.
He's always seems like just not very calm during situations, and they do the
Yeah,
same thing. It's an all-time low for the
yeah,
basketball program. I agree. All-time low.
yeah.
It's as bad as when Jeff Capel was there. It's actually worse. Serious
And
question. How many days before Josie locks up Kellen? I don't think they're going to go to OU. And
if you ask me, the top target for OU should be Will Wade. That's my top target.
Yeah, and Zias is talking about the play you did. Hey, and the other thing is, Jason, 2 weeks ago I sat here and said fire Moser, named Ryan Humphrey interim coach. 2 weeks ago. I said maybe they'll have something to play for. They didn't do it. Now it's pointless. It's pointless. They're not going to make the tournament. They had to have this game. Jackson still on here?
Yeah, it's just I think it's so sad, Jeremy. It's so bad. It's just there's no quick answers to anything that's happening with this program, and I think it's just in my opinion, Jeremy, it's gotten to the point where that Moser needs to be fired right now at this current moment.
Well, it's too late. It's too late. Now
Well,
I'd be fine if they did it, but
so you're just gonna allow this stuff to keep happening? I mean,
they already have, Jackson.
yeah, I know, but at some point,
The
some
crowd was
players have
pathetic.
got.
The crowd was pathetic today.
Well, that's what you have to expect from the LNC.
Whatever. I disagree, and I'm not going to argue it though. Jason has read that Kelvin wants the job. Hey, again, I would love Kellen Sampson. I would love it. I would love him to bring Hollis or Quantas.
Yeah.
Get back to Heart Hustle Hardwood.
Yeah,
but I just don't see it happening.
I even heard, I believe it was the Unofficial 40 podcast. They were talking about how Oklahoma could possibly go after Sampson, who's the head coach at Houston right now, not his son, but Kelvin. I don't see Kelvin coming back to Oklahoma and leaving Houston.
No, and there's no need to talk about it until something happens. I am just floored at how OU lost this game tonight. Like they basically they gave it away, and then they let them take it to them, which was highly disappointing.
And what's even more
they pushed
embarrassing,
OU around down low. They trapped OU. They were the aggressor. OU sat back and let them do it, and they got pushed around in their own gym. They gifted the game to LSU, and because of that, they sit 3-10 now. Or is it 3-11?
It's 3-9.
Sorry, 3-9. It'll be 3-10 next because the schedule they have left. I don't see how you recover from this. I don't see how you recover from this type of loss.
No, I mean, I don't even know, Jeremy. There's no words for it. It's unacceptable. We've talked about it with the football team, how they've been performing now with the basketball team. First year in the SEC, you have a chance to make your statement as the new school in the SEC, and they failed in both sports. Now, not that this is live to talk about the football team or anything, but it's not what the standard is at Oklahoma. And now I know Oklahoma maybe the standard for basketball isn't to win a national championship, but it is for sure to be in March Madness and be able to win a game or two in March Madness.
That's all fans want. It's all fans want. Kelvin Sampson, I would love, but they're not going to do it. Hey, and Jason's calling it right now. If he's wrong, he'll own it. OU's next coach will be Sampson or Hollis. Keep the receipts. That's who donors want, and that's the power. They have the money.
Well,
look, I would love both of those guys. Like, give them to me right now. I would. And I think there would be a revitalization, a refreshing thing for the fan base too. But hey, something else about this game that just there was a point, Sooner fans. LSU made 10 straight baskets. OU never got out of what they were doing defensively. They stayed in it. They continued to run a pick and roll, and on the roll, OU wouldn't bring a help guy off the 3-point line. So OU had a trailer to their guy rolling, and they had layup and in one 3 straight times because OU refused to bring a help guy. That is common sense basketball. I don't know how it's that bad. I don't know how it's gotten that bad. I don't like the energy from the players, from most of them. I don't like the selfishness from the players. I could go on, and I have been. I have been going on and on. I've been going on and on for 4 years about this.
Yeah.
And finally, I have been.
I mean, Yeah, the first 3 years they weren't acceptable for Moser, but this year this is the worst it's been, Jeremy. And and I understand that the SEC is the best conference in basketball, but so was the Big 12 when Oklahoma was in that. They were competing better than this. I mean, it's just like I don't know. And for anyone that might want to say, well, they don't want to pay the $9 million that Moser's owed or the 6 million, however much it is, that's not true. If Oklahoma, they have the money to pay his buyout, they have the money to go hire a new coach. It's just, are they willing to do it? Is Josie willing to do it after seeing this? I would hope so, but
Yeah,
who
I,
knows?
I,
Oh well,
but
Crystal, I think that the locker room was gone
it,
going into the Missouri
I,
game.
the Missouri game, it looked like they lost the locker room. And Jason, I see the comment here: 4.5 million average SEC NIL for basketball. OU around 2.4. That's a big discrepancy. However, in basketball, you don't have as many players. I, for one, still think they're getting a lot of money, but they're not getting as much as other schools in the SEC. That's a fact. But here's the point: they still, to me, that can't be an excuse for how you can't lose game. Let's say that is an issue. That that wasn't an issue when they beat Michigan. It wasn't an issue when they beat Arizona. Did Arizona beat Houston today?
I'm not sure.
It was close, I think. It wasn't an issue when OU was up 11
No,
today.
Houston won because I think it. Yeah, but I know that Houston won because of a massive game from guess who, Jeremy? Milos Uzan, who's
Yeah,
not at
Milos
Oklahoma
Uzan should
anymore,
be a Sooner right now, but no one wants to play for Porter Moser. And
and
Milos
and
Uzan at
Otega
this team
Owe
would have been
too.
better.
And Otega Owe is one of the best players in the SEC. Doesn't matter who it is, and he's not in Oklahoma either. It's just,
And,
it's ridiculous.
and here's the deal. I mean, Joe C can Joe C can do what he wants. He's the guy, but here's the deal. I think if he doesn't do something, he might as well leave because well, he's saying he condones it at this point. And the same with BV next year if
Hmm.
it was bad. You can't continue to condone it. You either have to leave on your own, or maybe people are going to start, donors are going to start saying, we're not spending money at all until you make a change. I mean, it's bad. Now, softball, they dominate Baylor today because that's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, and like when it comes to the NIL and stuff with Oklahoma, okay, I understand maybe that you didn't spend the most amount of money, but if you can go out and if you can evaluate talent at a decent level, not have the same bigs that struggled in the Big 12 going to the SEC conference, maybe as more athletic bigs compared to the more guys that are just going to play in the post and just kill you.
Yeah.
But I think in Oklahoma, they failed to do that. Like Mo, like, okay, he's an athletic player, but he's not very good at basketball, Jeremy. Like I'm sorry, that's not an SEC caliber center. Sam
But
Godwin,
you don't have, there are teams in the SEC that don't have SEC caliber centers that are winning. OU had this game in the bank and they lost it. Period. Facts. It doesn't matter who the talent was. They gave the game away. And hey, the Baylor score was 9-1. OU beat Hofstra 8-0. Sidney Barker had 6 RBIs, a 2-run bomb, and a grand slam in that game. And we did do a video. We did a video right after the game if you want to check it out, Jason. But hey, listen, and we're going to be on here for about 10 more minutes. We do still have our 9:30 live show tonight. So we'll recap all this again, whatever you guys want to talk about. We're going to
yeah,
have the phone lines open for 10 minutes if you want to call and vent. If you want to call and just give your take. This was really a vent session for me personally. I cannot believe what I watched. And by the way, if you want good news, I'll tell you where to get it right now. Go to the fan stop at thefanstop.com. Sign up. Start typing in. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE. Get 10% off your first 3 months. And do it by February 20th so that you will get, you ready for it? So that you will get in 3, 2, 1, this beauty of a shirt. Green St. Patty's Day special shirt. It will be on in your mailbox in March. There it is. It's soft. It's beautiful. Be great for springtime sports like softball and baseball, where OU actually wins and does some good things on the diamond in the springtime. So yeah, make sure you check that out and sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Lane says, I will repeat my question now for Hunter. Hunter, with NIL, can college baseball be a better alternative to the MLB farm leagues? And Hunter, you'll have to give that because I don't know on that. So maybe you can put
Yeah.
the answer in the chat if it's a better alternative. I think farm leagues is I I think you can get paid more in college maybe than the farm leagues, but I think you're
Yeah.
better off in the farm leagues for your future. And that, it all depends on how much they're giving you in the NIL.
Yeah. I mean, and that's something is NIL. It's and I hate everyone that's like, well, Oklahoma, they don't have the money. That is, I do not think Oklahoma does not have the money. Now, are they willing to spend that amount of money to compete? Because the way that Joe C pre NIL did everything was you keep guys here for the long term. You make great hires, guys that at that time can stay, really build their own system and culture. Now, throw the culture out the window. I could care less. You want the best players to come in and make the best plays and be the best guys on the market as transfers. And you have to be willing to spend maybe $1 million to $2 million to get two elite level players. And you have to be, and it doesn't matter if they don't fit your quote unquote culture. If you care for winning, you're going to bring those guys in. You're muted, Jeremy.
You're absolutely right, Crystal. OU did not
Yeah.
lose because of
No,
NIL. OU
no,
did
I'm not
not
saying
lose
that.
because they didn't have a big man. OU lost because they have bad leadership and they choked down the stretch and they took on the persona of the head coach under the pressure, I think.
Yeah.
And
And
Jalen Moore is one of their leaders and just had two boneheaded plays. Boneheaded. You
yeah.
can't foul a 3-point shooter and you cannot make a across the court pass with 20 seconds up 2 points when you have the possession arrow and they're got it. They have to foul you. The only way LSU is going to keep the game going was to foul and hope OU missed free throws. Fetal
Yeah.
position right there. Fetal position.
Yeah. I know. I don't understand why on the 3 point shot, why even try and block the shot and end up having an and one 3 pointer. Just if he makes the 3 pointer, it's okay. It's a 2 point game. And as you said, Jeremy, you hold on to the ball, you get down, and you take the foul, or you get the jump ball because you have the possession arrow.
You, you have to defend it, but the closeout was bad. Now, I do think the LSU player kicked his legs out. I didn't see. Was Porter Moser asking for a review? Because if he wasn't, he has no idea what's going on. He should have asked for a review. They should have reviewed that.
No, I didn't see him asking for one, Jeremy.
He, you got to review that. He should have been in the referee's ear reviewing that if he wasn't.
Yeah.
And I agree, corrections. Lazy turnovers. There's laziness a lot. And now I'm going to pick out two plays. Duke Miles made a play on the baseline after Fears got the shot clock was running down. Fears gets it blocked. It's an
Yep.
air ball. Miles gets it and makes an and one. Great hustle play. More of that, please. And then Dayton Forsythe does a similar thing on the baseline, gets it. He misses the bunny, but Moore misses then and gets two free throws and makes it. There's laziness. Even the inbounds play from Forsythe with up to 20 seconds where they get it into Jalen Moore. Jeremiah Fears had his back to it. There was no urgency from any of the players. Like, there's 20 seconds. Get open. Get open.
Yeah, it's horrible, and I really am tired of seeing Jeremiah Fierce constantly do the same thing in the lane where he starts to drive and then he stops, and instead of turning around and playing off 2 feet, he tries to just turn around to the right and shove the dude off of him and
That's
throw it
with
back
growth. He
up
needs
to
growth. Like I've said that.
top of the key. And
He needs to get
that
better in the lane.
there's things in high school that aren't going to work in college that he's accustomed to doing. And now he's played 12 SEC games, now played a tough non-conference slate. You would think at this point he's learned what works and what doesn't work, but and it's like there's even a time where before LSU had even inbounded the ball, it might have been before the first half or something, but Jeremiah Fears just commits a dumb foul and they get two free throws. And it's like you got to learn from those things. You can't be doing that at this point when you've played 25 games or so in of college hoops. Like at this point, you're not a true freshman anymore. You've started the majority of the games. You've played against some of the best teams in the nation. There's no reason to be doing that. And to me, do you know what that tells me, Jeremy? He's not being coached.
Yeah, he's gotten less confident, and I don't like that. Since he got benched that one time, there seems to be less confidence. But he was
Mhm.
looking better second half tonight, and then down the stretch made some poor plays. Killer Breeze. I've got several names. I'll start with the top one. A guy like Jay Wright. Not going to come here, but I would love Jay Wright. I would love a guy like Jay Wright. I would love a guy.
I just don't know with NIL if they'd
No,
want to come
I'm
back
not
into
saying he
this.
is, but
Yeah,
uh, I would love Hollis Price. I would love Kellen Sampson. Of course, I would absolutely love Kelvin Sampson. We go on and on. I mean, I've got plenty of names. I would
yeah,
like a guy like Tom Crean. I would like. I mean, like I could go on and on. Another home run high would be McDermott from Creighton. He won't go to OU, but that's Fred Hoiberg out of Nebraska right now. Give him to. He's not going to leave Nebraska, but I mean, to me, all those guys would be great hires. But until they
yeah.
fire
I
Porter,
mean,
you can't
from
talk about it.
yeah, well, for me, my top option is Will Wade. I think I've said that a couple times. I think from McNeese State, what he did at LSU, I get he might have cheated or something, but now you can go and tamper and take dudes from other teams. It doesn't matter. In the NCAA, there's no stopping that. It's happening all across sports. Sampson, obviously, as you said, either of them. Hollis Price, Jay Wright. I think that's a name that would be really intriguing, but I doubt he comes out of
I'm
retirement
not
to come to
high on Will
Oklahoma.
Wade. I'm not
Why?
high on Will Wade, but I know a lot of people are. But
I don't.
man, hey,
No,
hey,
you want.
the
Hold
big
on, hold on,
question,
hold on, hold
Jackson,
on.
is Porter Moser at OU tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes.
I would love to say no, but there you go. Call Larry Bird, get him here. Oh, absolutely, sell it out. Uh, Moser
Larry.
loves into underrated players. Hey, and actually at Loyola Chicago, Crystal, he had 2 really good years. Most of the other time at Loyola, he was about a 500 team. So, and I agree,
No,
Jay Wright's not coming out of retirement, but it was
and
great to know the
the
name on
thing is, he didn't luck out with underrated players. It's that then at schools, like you could keep players for
it. He
3 to 4
coached
years.
great in the Final Four that year. He coached that team great.
Yeah.
They hit a run.
Yep.
He
I
coached
know.
that team like he does OU in non-conference, where they're unbelievable. And then for
Yeah.
whatever reason, they can't finish the season. They can't play in a conference. It's bad. The state of the program's horrific. It's why I wanted to get on here and do a little instant reaction. Listen, 9:30 tonight. Set your clocks at 9:30 tonight. Dunk contest should be over by then. It'll be close to being over. Hop on with our nightly Sooner Surge. Jay should be on here. Our nightly Sooner Surge 9:30. We'll talk everything:
Mhm.
basketball, softball, football, whatever you want to talk about. Jackson, thanks for joining me here. Appreciate it. And we will see you all tonight, hopefully at 9:30.